Hi, and welcome to Project 900, Week 1. We're getting started with AI. We're focusing on how to empower nonprofits to do more good in the world using AI, and I'm glad you're here. So this lesson this week is going to go through kind of the basics of what is AI? How do we define it? How do we think about it? What is it? Not only what is it, but what is it to us? And we're going to get into some basics of like what AIs you should consider using, how to set them up, how to start working with them. And then we're going to ramp up over the course of 13 weeks into more and more advanced things to get better and better and better at AI, hopefully ending with AI agents that are actively doing work on your behalf without you having to instruct them to do work on your behalf, which is kind of beautiful. It's week 1. The way this course is going to work is pretty simple. On Mondays, you're going to get an email like this one with a video like this one that's walking you in detail through coursework, just like we're about to do. Then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, you're going to get quick emails with quick assignments to help reinforce that lesson, to make sure that you're using AI well. And the call to action in every single one of those is going to be go to the Substack message, go to the Substack email, and post a comment about what you're learning. Post a comment about what's working for you, what didn't work for you. Let's collaborate. Let's create a community around this. Then on Fridays, you're going to get an email with a link to a Q&A chat with me, and we're going to just talk together and learn together and share stories about what worked and what didn't, what amazed us and what frustrated us. And we're going to talk through that collaboratively as a community to get better at AI together. So Mondays are your videos and your courses, and you can read the course if you prefer. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, quick email assignments. And Friday, Q&A with me. I'm going to try to help you through it. It's going to be fantastic. Your new teammate, understanding AI and how it powers nonprofit impact. So let's get into it and what AI is. So what you'll learn today, we're going to define what AI is in simple, basic, relatable terms. We're going to understand AI as a co-intelligence. I'm going to be talking about this quite a bit. It's how it's a co-intelligence, how it supports you, and it doesn't take your place. We're going to interact with some popular AI tools, so get ready for that. That should be fun. And we're going to begin exploring specific AI tasks related to your mission and how you can use it for that. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, think about AI as your new smart intern. Like, don't think of it necessarily as a robot that knows everything. Don't think of it as something that's going to replace you or whatever. Think about it as a new intern that is very smart, that is very capable, but also needs a lot of guidance. And AI it's not a sci-fi robot right now, at least not yet, but it is very smart and it is very capable. It is a co-intelligence that works with you. It doesn't take your place. And that's how we're going to be using it throughout this course, as a co-intelligence. It also does some pattern learning, so it can help you process data, and it can help you create data and create communications in a way that is more relatable to a majority of people. So you're going to want to stay tuned for that. Why AI is a game changer for nonprofits. There's a lot of reasons that AI is a game changer for nonprofits. The first thing is that it's going to help you amplify your impact. It's going to help you better understand not only your own needs, but your market's needs, the needs of the people that you serve, your staff's needs. It's going to help you better understand your environment. It's going to boost your efficiency. There have been studies that have shown that AI boosts efficiency by more than 37%. I think that's honestly a low number. I can tell you right now that it has boosted my efficiency just by absolute miles. Like it's wild. As I've been preparing this coursework, as I've prepared these lessons, I have sat by the pool and built out these lesson plans and built out these written lessons and done all of these things using AI in what should have taken me 2 days to complete. These slides that you're looking at are AI generated with just text. I didn't edit them at all. They're just the text that was generated, that used to generate them. And so what should have taken me 2 days to complete for each of these lessons probably took about an hour, which is just kind of amazing. It's going to boost your efficiency. It's going to free up your staff to help you focus on, allow you to focus on relationships, on connecting, on crafting stories, on the creative tasks that computers still are not able to replace. And it's going to help enhance your decision making. You're going to be able to gain insights from data that you've never been able to gain before. You're going to be able to talk through and have conversations with AI that you might not have been able to have before, because a lot of times leaders struggle to not have someone to bounce ideas off of because they don't want to terrify their staff. But you can do that with AI because it's not going to become terrified, at least not unless you bait it into that, which is a whole different conversation. So there's many more reasons. These are just some basic reasons that should help you understand why now is the time to embrace AI for the benefit of your nonprofit. All right, so let's talk about AI in action for a minute. Like now we're going to see a prompt in just a minute, but let's start by talking about AI in action, like the different things it can do. And these are just a few examples. We're going to dig deeper into these as we go through this coursework. But just to start with, it can research topics. It can gather background information like you would not believe. If you want information about crime rates in a specific city, if you want information about people experiencing homelessness, or you want information about animal adoptions, like it can research and gather data. Now I will say this, and this is very, very important. It does a good job of gathering data and doing research. AI also does this thing called hallucinations. Because AI wants to serve you, because AI wants to help you, because it wants to provide the answer for you, and that's kind of its mandate. If it cannot provide the answer, it will make up an answer. And so be very careful when it cites sources to verify those sources before you put them in sort of an annual report or something else. Be very careful before you quote statistics from AI on social media without validating those sources. It's a great place, it's a great way to gather information. But again, think of it as an intern that is newly working for you and doesn't have a lot of experience. And so you say, hey, go gather this data. And it goes and gathers, they go and gather all this data. And then you go, okay, now where did that come from? And then they say, oh, well, it came from, whatever, that's not a reputable source. You go, okay, we can't use that. Let's look at the next piece of data and see what we can use there. So just bear that in mind. Like, it can do the research, it can do a great job, but it will hallucinate. You do need to validate. That's of critical importance. All right, it can summarize reports. Man, summarizing reports is the greatest because reports are so verbose. And you get these reports, these PDFs, these files that are huge, and it can just summarize them. And you can just say like, hey, tell me what I need to know from this. Give me the details that are pertinent to my mission and my organization's vision. And it can do that for you. And it is just spectacular. It's great at brainstorming and idea generation. It can brainstorm agendas for meetings for you. It can brainstorm ideas and marketing ideas. It can brainstorm different things that you can write, different things you can create. It can brainstorm outlines for programs, outlines for events. I mean, brainstorming is an amazing use of AI. And so I think that's one of my favorite uses, actually, of that. And it can draft remarks. And we're going to get deeper into the whole drafting of remarks things and how to think about that and different prompts for that and different ways to do that about that. It can draft remarks for you. Be careful. Be careful. It can sound AI-ish if you're not careful. And so you want to make sure that whatever you produce using AI has been edited and gone through and has your voice and has your personality and sort of your truth to it, as I would call it. So just bear that in mind as you're going through all that. So that's a great, again, AI in action, some meeting prep stuff, kind of amazing. All right, AI in action for meeting recaps and action steps. This is one of my favorite uses of AI. It's just magical. And I did a different video as a preview to Project 900 showing what I was doing for this and the prompts I was using. So go back and take a look at that. But essentially you can take a transcript of a meeting recording, and you can say to AI, okay, go through this transcript, pull out the primary projects that we talked about, list those at the top, list the people that were in the call at the top as well. All right, go through, summarize everything we talked about. What were our key decisions that we made? What are the open questions that we had during the meeting that we still have open? And who agreed to do what? And list all of that out. And it can create all of that for you, and you can pop that into a Google Doc or an email or whatever else and send that out to everybody. And the results are honestly just magical. Like, it is unreal. And then the superpower, and we're going to get into this in later lesson, but the superpower as a preview is you can then take that meeting recap and the previous agenda and say, here was my previous meeting agenda. Here's the previous meeting recap. Ask me a bunch of questions. And now here's the new meeting agenda based on all of that context. And it is literally your magical project manager. And it's just so great. So I highly recommend it. All right, project management and planning. I mean, another good use of AI, it can outline project plans. It can break down goals into action steps and help you do that. It can help identify like what are the common roadblocks that you're going to have with this and how should you think about overcoming them. It can do that. It can suggest timelines because let's be real, like a lot of times our timelines are way overly optimistic. And so it can suggest realistic timelines for you. It can do just so much stuff for you. Grant writing and fundraising support, like, oh my gosh, like not only grant writing, but finding grants, helping you research potential grants. But then you can take kind of the grant application, you can have AI digest that grant application and pull out all of the different factors and all the different details that are important to that particular grant. And then you can have it draft a original proposal of it, including all of those details to make sure that you don't miss anything. And then you can edit it. And then you can run it back through AI to double check and make sure you didn't miss anything and ask how you might improve it. You can also run it through AI and use AI as a content copy editor to edit your copy and improve your grammar and improve your language and your word use and all that kind of stuff. You can research donors. You can draft emails to donors. Like it's great for all that sort of stuff. And then content and communication. So listen, and I say this very lovingly, most of us struggle with communication. We think we're communicating clearly when we typically will leave out context or we will make assumptions about the knowledge level of the person that we're communicating to. Or we'll write in a bunch of jargon and insider terms that make a lot of sense to us, but really don't make any sense to the person receiving the communication. And this is a place that AI just absolutely is amazing because AI will help you communicate in a way that is clear to your intended party and can ask you for additional context if it's not clear. And so AI is great for drafting an initial draft of a communication. First drafts of social posts, first drafts of blog entries, even just outlines of social posts or blog entries are great. It can help you adapt your language and your communication and your copy to different platforms. So you'd say, hey, look, I've got this blog post or this post, and I'm going to post it here on Facebook where our tone is friendly, but I'm going to post it over here on LinkedIn where our tone is more professional in nature. And then we're going to post it here on X where our tone is, I don't know, sarcastic. And it can help you reframe and rephrase that messaging to match each platform's style and language, which is amazing. It can help you be more consistent in outreach because you can create these things more quickly and get them out more quickly and more consistently, which is kind of amazing. And it can help you overcome writer's block. You can say like, hey, I don't know what I want to write for this, but I know these are the outcomes that I'm looking for. And knowing that, what do you suggest that I write? And what do you suggest that we create? And you can do that together. Now, let me take a moment here, and maybe I should have done this earlier, but let me take a moment here and explain sort of fundamentally, rudimentally, because honestly, my knowledge is very limited, but let me explain what AI is. So it's essentially the ones that we're talking about, the ones that we're going to be working with, at least preliminarily in this course, like ChatGPT, like Gemini, like Claude, to some degree like Copilot. These are large language models. And what that means is they have ingested an insane amount of language and data. And they've used that to kind of create these probabilities about what should come next. So for example, if you feed an AI, I think, therefore I blank, right? I think, therefore I blank. Everybody knows I think, therefore I am. AI always knows I think, therefore I am, right? Because it's seen that quote over and over and over again in the training data that it has collected. And it knows the probability that the correct word at the end is extremely high. And so what AI is doing when it's creating something is it starts with kind of a word or a phrase, and then it assumes the next word in that progression based on the probability, based on all of the data that is previously collected and weighted. And so it's synthesizing all of this human created data to sort of think or predict what we want to see. And it's literally starting a sentence without knowing what the end of that sentence is going to be. And it's adding each word based on the probability that that's the next correct word. And so that makes it really great at creating things that have been created a million times, like meeting agendas and things like that. It makes it a little less good at creating new and novel things, new and novel ideas, because there's a lot less of that kind of clogging up the internet, as it were. So just sort of bear that in mind. It's a creation modeling tool that is synthesizing an insane amount of data and assuming and trying to give you what it assumes that you want based on all of the probabilities and weights and measures that it's created from all of that training data. So with that in mind, let's keep talking. Let's take a look at some of our options here. Now we're gonna mess with quite a few different platforms in this course, and I would suggest that you test out a few different ones. But in particular, you're gonna wanna choose one and kind of stick with it long term. And if you're gonna go with a paid plan, for sure, you're gonna wanna do that as well. You can get a lot done for free. There is a lot of value in paid plans. I'll just tell you that right now. But hopefully pretty cheap paid plans. So I'm gonna talk about ChatGPT and Gemini. Also falls into this bucket is Claude. We'll talk a little bit more about Claude in week 2. And then Microsoft Copilot. So ChatGPT and Gemini are large language models that respond to prompts. They are chat-based interactions. They generate content very quickly. They're great at summarizing things. They're great at brainstorming. All the things that I just mentioned that we've just gone through, ChatGPT and Gemini are excellent at that. Claude is also excellent at that. Microsoft Copilot is more of an AI assistant. It's using ChatGPT, so you're getting a lot of ChatGPT benefits, but it's sort of baked into Word, Excel, Outlook. You can also use it as its own sort of chatbot. A lot of nonprofits will have access to Microsoft Copilot, but a lot won't, because you don't get a lot of it unless you're on sort of a business enterprise plan that's going to be a little bit more expensive. So for that reason, I'm going to stick more to ChatGPT and Gemini for this course, but just understand that you can do these things in Copilot. You can do these things in Claude. You can do these things in Grok if you want to use Grok. That's fine as well. Grok has its own benefits and has its own repercussions as well. But Grok is the AI built into X. I think Meta has an AI too, but I've never heard anybody actually talk about it. So I'm not going to talk about it either. So, all right. So let's look at what our next thing is. So let's get hands-on for a minute. So we're going to try this prompt. The prompt is draft a short, compelling donor thank you, 100 to 150 words, emphasizing the impact of their contribution on providing warm meals to local families in need, encouraging continued support. So we're going to try this in ChatGPT and in Gemini. I've literally cut this. I'm going to paste it in directly. Now I'll tell you this, and this is important. This is not the best prompt. And we're going to get into why that is later, but what I'm doing is I want to introduce you to some basic prompting first, some basic ideas first, and then in later weeks, we're going to get into more robust prompts that go much deeper, that will give you much better results that will be more in line with what you need. But for now, this will still knock your socks off if you have not used an AI chatbot before, and so I think you're going to enjoy this. So let's go over to ChatGPT first. This is I'm not logged in. This is the free chatgpt.com. I literally just pulled up chatgpt.com. This is the first thing you'll see. I'm going to paste in the prompt and hit enter, and here we go. Thank you so much for your generous contribution. Because of your support, local families facing tough times are receiving warm, nourishing meals and hope. I mean, you gotta love how it adds in like the hope, the strings, the emotional heartstrings component to it, right? And hope. Your kindness is more than a meal on a table. It's comfort, dignity, and reassurance that someone cares. I mean, my goodness, that is some great language. It's comfort, it's dignity, like that's just, it's magical, right? And it kind of makes me a little jealous that I didn't write it, if I'm being honest. Each plate served, I mean, I'm not gonna go through the whole thing. You get the point. This is really, really well done. So we see this is ChatGPT's result. Let's take a look at what Gemini can do. Again, same thing. I went to gemini.google.com. I'm not signed in. This is the free version of Gemini, and we're gonna put in the prompt. Let's see what comes up. Oh, it's given us a couple of options, which is kind of nice. I love that. All right, so your recent gift is already making a tangible difference in our community. Thanks to your incredible generosity, we're able to provide warm, nourishing meals to local families who are struggling. This isn't just food, it's comfort, security, and a reminder that someone cares. I mean, very similar, right? Like very similar approach. It didn't do the whole dignity thing. I liked the dignity angle from ChatGPT, but it did do the hope, or not, it didn't use the word hope, but it used the heartstrings angle, and I kind of love that. Let's see, option 2, we're going to express our heartfelt gratitude, because of you, local families are receiving warm, nutritious meals, bringing much needed relief and a sense of hope. Your support, blah, blah, blah. It feeds spirits. It's great. Every dollar you give translates directly into a warm meal for a family in need. Love that. Option 3 seems a little shorter, like that. Thank you so much for recent gift. You get the idea. I'm not going to belabor the point here. The simple point is that you can, for free, go in and create these, and these are going to be grammatically correct. There's not going to be spelling issues with it. You can copy and paste it immediately if you want to, but I don't recommend it. I mean, I recommend that you take it and you edit it and you make it your own so that it has your voice, it has your feel, it has your touch on it. And then you can send it out to, whomever it is that you're trying to send things out to. So that's very much my recommendation for this. So, but that's hands-on with it. It's pretty amazing. You're going to get way more opportunity to do more hands-on stuff as we go through this course. All right, so your challenge for this week, and you're going to get more challenge. You're going to get challenges Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. But your challenge for this week is going to be set up a free account. And the benefit, here's the benefit to setting up a free account, right? Just so you know. So right here, I just did my ChatGPT without setting up a free account. But let's say I want to ask it a different question. I want to get on a whole different train of thought. So I go ahead and hit new chat. Now my old chat's gone. I don't have access to that anymore. It hasn't learned anything about me. It hasn't saved anything. There's no information left. And so instead of having kind of a log of all the chats that I've had on the left-hand side, I now don't have anything, which is less than ideal. And so you want to make sure you set up a free account. Go ahead and set one up with ChatGPT. Go ahead and set one up with Gemini. They're both free. There's no reason not to do that. You can also set up a free account with Claude. I think Claude is fantastic for a lot of things. I have a lot of friends that use Claude exclusively, and so you might want to consider that. Go ahead and ask it 3 questions about your mission. Be specific, provide some context, and experiment with different angles. Ask it about whatever it is that you do for your nonprofit. Paste in your vision statement and ask if it's clear. Paste in your mission statement and ask what it thinks about it. Just dialogue with it a little bit, and then come back to this lesson and reflect and share what you've learned, what worked, what didn't work, what were you frustrated about, and let's talk about it together. Remember that AI is about empowering your nonprofit's impact. It's going to multiply your capacity. It's going to help small teams accomplish huge things. And so when you finish your challenge, when you set up your thing, when you messed around, you've given it some information, you've asked it questions about your mission, comment on this lesson to share how it has worked out for you. That's my request for you as payment for being a part of this program. Just collaborate, communicate, and let's do this. Let's get better at AI. Let's get better at serving people and doing more good in the world. We can do it, and let's do it all together. So thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us for week 1. It's going to be an amazing adventure.